Hi everybody, welcome back to Brelsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. I'm planting the last of my tomatoes today and I wanted to bring you along and show you how I do it. I have some eggs here, kind of weird, right? I plant with eggs and some dehydrated banana peels. I'll post a video here of how I do that. I love to put this in the hole with my tomatoes. I'm almost out, need to make some more. For running out, I also just have some regular organic granular fertilizer, so whatever you might have on hand. So I'll bring it down close so you can see. The first ones I'm going to plant, I have never had these before. They are the Thornburns terracotta. A friend of mine sent the seeds to me. Thanks, Tommy. And so I'm excited to see how these do. I do need to do a little bit of pruning because it has branched off to two and I want to keep these pruned to a single stem. So I'm not able to find a camera angle where you can see both me and where I'm planting the tomato. So I'm just gonna point you down so you can get a look to see what I'm doing. Okay, I am planting in, they're about 25 gallon mineral buckets from cattle. And I've decided to just push the limits here and plant 2 per bucket. I'm gonna plant 1 on each side. I already have a cattle panel trellis on here. And just see what we can do because I really need more tomatoes. And I don't have a lot of extra space prepared right now. So we're just gonna see what happens. I wanna plant these nice and deep. These are already tall. As you saw, I started these in April sometime. Or was it March? Yeah, March. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. There's a video of that too. So I'm going nice and deep with this. I am going to cut some of this off because see how it's split into 2 there? I want to have 1 main stem, especially since I am planting these a little intensively. If I can get my little things open here. There we go. I'm just gonna snap that right off. And any of the lower leaves. And if any of these are going to be close to the soil, I will trim those off too. All right, so first thing, either grab you some eggs from the kitchen or the chicken coop. Pop one in. I will break that. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle in some of this dehydrated banana peel in there too. Crack that egg. These labels do work really well and they don't disappear from the sun either. Okay, cover that back up. Lots of worms in here, which is great. And both of the tomatoes I'm planting in here are this Thornburns terracotta. All right, let's plant the next one. Is this one a little bit better angle? I don't have a camera person to help me this morning. So in this, I've got one closer to this edge and I'm going to plant this one closer to this edge just to maximize the space and the trellising. And you do not have to prune, whoops, keep the soil in your container. You don't have to prune your tomatoes, especially if you don't live in a humid area. But I am, because I am planting these so close together and trellising them up. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I need to give them all the space I can. Well, I obviously buried a piece of my tomato Velcro tape last year. Okay, we're gonna go nice and deep again. The soil is looking great. I'm going to trim this again because this one also has 2 going. At least I thought it did. Is this the same one? Yes. Okay, I got suckers on here. So see how that is growing like right in the pit between the main branch and that. Definitely want to pinch those off, and I will do that the whole time these are growing to keep them in check. All right, where did our eggs go? Banana peel, egg, I'll show you what I'm using to tie them up after I can get you up from this angle. Press that down. Voila. Give you a better look here. Here's the cattle panel trellis. Got one on each side of the bucket, one on each side of the trellis. And I am going to keep these lower leaves trimmed off. And I'm gonna plant some marigolds under here. It's a little later in the day. The tomatoes are planted and I put 2 marigolds in each bucket as well. So I'm going to go ahead and mulch. Some have some, but they need some more. So I'm going to use just these pine shavings that we always have on hand to mulch that. They are far away from the trellis. I put it up a little high on purpose. So if they need a little support, I have a bunch of these just bamboo stakes, I think they're called, or like any hardware store or whatever. I have a lot of those, and then I'll just support it with that until it's tall enough to hit the trellis. And then this year and last year, I just used this tomato tie tape. You can order it on Amazon. You can find it at Lowe's. I'm sure some of the other big box stores may have it, especially this time of year. But I've also used, my mom gave me some used oxygen hose from that my stepdad had. I used that one year. That wasn't as easy to use. I used elastic, like a 1/4 inch elastic, and that worked well. And also, I'm a sewer, so if you do sew, you have a lot of scraps, especially like the selvage edge from fabric. You can cut that off and tie that on. It's just easy and cheap to buy one of these and keep it in my little mailbox to tie them up. So right now I'm not going to be tying anything up, but I'm going to go ahead and mulch. I do need to put some more mulch on one of my other tomato beds, but I wanted to just take you around and show you what tomatoes I'm growing this year before I get to that, and then dinner for my family. This here I planted with cherry tomatoes last year and it looked gorgeous. I'll put a video link above. It was so pretty. I am growing just jelly bean cherry tomatoes this year on the recommendation of a friend. As you can see, I've mulched those. They've been in for a while. You see, they're already bringing on flowers. My green stalk, I'll show you that later. These are, oh, if I'm going to tell you the varieties, I buried. This is beefsteak. This is pink tiger lady. These are both Rutgers. This one is a Brandywine, and this one is a black Krim, and these are both the Thornburg's terracotta. In this bed, I have all San Marzano except for one Amish paste. Then I have some basil and marigolds. They've been in for a while too, and they're doing really well. But I do need to put a little bit more mulch in here. The mulch that I put down at that trellis with the cherry tomatoes and in those buckets will be sufficient for the rest of the season. I will not need to add anything. It will keep the moisture in and it will keep all the weeds out. I might have one or two here that might pop up, but really I don't have to do any weeding once I have this in place, which is a plus for me. So I hope this has helped you, encouraged you to plant something, whether you have one pot on the patio or you have a big garden or a small garden. My garden is not that big. It's not as big as I would love it to be. I'd love to grow probably triple the amount of tomatoes I'm growing right now. But start somewhere and enjoy it. There's just something so good about watching something grow and enjoying the fruits of your labor. Until next time, guys, God bless.